Hello and welcome to Interviews with Ivan. My name is Ivan Demosten. I'm the CEO of Hamilton Demo, and we're coming to you from downtown Cincinnati, Ron Hamilton Photo. And we're going to bring to you some interviews and conversations from people within diversity and inclusion and other business leaders and nonprofit leaders. And we're hoping that you'll welcome the conversations, welcome the interviews, and please follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and subscribe to us as well. Any and all feedback is appreciated. Thank you so much. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, so welcome to downtown Cincinnati, Hamilton Photo Studios here. You can see the beautiful outside in the courthouse in downtown Cincinnati for our video this morning. Alieu, Diversity Officer with St. Elizabeth's Hospital. Thank you so much. You're also going to be a part-time contributor to our video series. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome. That's what friendship is all
Yeah,
about.
we've been friends for a while, right?
Yes, sir.
Since Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I believe it was 2004.
2 decades. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago,
That's
brother.
a long time ago. Lots has happened since. So, Alieu, so please share with those that are watching our video a little bit about yourself that may not know about you.
So, yeah, as you said, Alieu Nyassi. I'm from the Gambia, West Africa, one of the smallest countries in Africa, per se. Migrated to the United States back in '97. Detroit is basically home, so go Lions. Lived in Detroit for many years, did my community college, undergrad, went to Oakland University, and then came to Cincinnati, went to NKU for my master's, worked at Cincinnati Children's, that's when we met. And then I went back to Detroit again, and then from Detroit, I went to Pittsburgh. And then I was actually working in the diversity field. So from 2007 to date, I have been in diversity and in healthcare.
Right. No, so you've had quite the path in your career. You worked at Chrysler. You mentioned you were with Pittsburgh, here in Cincinnati. Tell us some of the things that you've done that kind of attracted you to diversity.
So at Chrysler, I was basically in human resources, and that's what I got my undergrad degree in human resource development. And then a few years ago, I would say many years ago, I wanted to go to graduate school, and that's the reason why I left Chrysler. And then the program that I saw was at Northern Kentucky University, a master's degree in executive leadership and organizational change. I was attracted to that program. And so being attracted to that program, wanting to go to graduate school right away. So I left my Chrysler job. Thank God, I was able to get a human resource diversity job at Cincinnati Children's. So I left Chrysler to come here with the hope that after graduate school, I'm going to go back to Detroit. But many things happened. I figured that my calling is not in the auto industry, it's in healthcare as a diversity person, focused on not only workforce diversity, but focused on cultural competence and community building. So as a cultural competence individual, or individual that's focused on that piece of work, I think it's important that as a healthcare provider, sometimes people think the nurse is the only healthcare provider, or the doctor, or anyone that's clinical. But all of us are, because we're connecting cultures to care, to make sure that individuals' background, individuals' culture, individuals' identity is also incorporated into the care that you provide. And that has been something that I loved and I continue to do.
So that was one of the first times that I had the opportunity to spend time with you when we were at Children's Hospital, Cincinnati Children's Hospital here in Cincinnati. And you had a forum of community people within the hospital that spoke to your employees to share experiences about your patients and constituents that were from other parts of the world coming into the community for healthcare and for services. And I remember thinking, wow, it was amazing how you thought about that and how you made sure that the experience started right from when they walked through the door, right, and through the whole healthcare part as well.
And that's very important. I think that one mistake that we will never do, and many people do it, is to understand that care actually begins when the person, even in their thought, chooses you as a healthcare provider. The reason why they choose you or choose your institution to come to you for care is because they have heard about you, they have seen the outcome for your patients, and they have actually trusted you. So as soon as they walk into your doors, that experience starts there. And that experience does not end when they leave your hospital.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that they feel welcome, they feel safe, they feel that you care about them, and that you're going to provide them the services that they need, and that there's no cultural barriers that is going to keep them from getting the best experience possible. And that's what I always advocate for, and that's what I work around to make sure that it doesn't matter where you come from, Haiti, Africa, the Middle East, Canada, Europe. As soon as you enter my institution, I don't see you as that person from Haiti or from Africa. I see you as my patient.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. So tell me, you're at St. Elizabeth's now. It's been about a year, a little bit over a year, right?
Actually, on the 26th was my anniversary.
Wow, congratulations. Happy
Thank you.
anniversary.
Thank you.
So tell us some of the wonderful things that you're doing there.
So St. Elizabeth is a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful space to be. I think that at St. Elizabeth, I look at St. Elizabeth as a hospital system that is very unique to Northern Kentucky because we serve different demographics. One, you talk about different ethnicities and race, that's one piece. But we also serve inner city, we serve suburban, and we serve rural. And we also serve some that are up here and some that are up down here. So you talk about the poor of the poor and the rich of the rich, middle class, we serve everybody. And that makes us very, very unique.
Oh, great. Yeah, and it's a diverse community, right? So you guys are serving everybody in Northern Kentucky.
We serve everybody in Northern Kentucky. And I think what's actually big for us is when you think about COVID-19, 2020 has been a very challenging year. And we realize that not every population, not everyone receives care in the same way. So in the early stages of COVID-19, we started collecting race and ethnicity data. And that allowed us to see what demographics or what populations in our community has been impacted more. We first saw it in the Middle Eastern Arabic-speaking population. With the strategies that we implemented helped to bring down cases for that community. Then we see an uptick in the Latino community. And so we, full gear, we set up a team, a task force, and this group actually worked really hard with the community. We engaged the Greater Cincinnati Hispanic Chamber. We engaged Hispanic churches or Latino churches in Northern Kentucky. And we engaged La Esperanza Latino Center in Newport. And all those entities coming together, translating all our materials into Spanish. And we integrated testing for that community. And it's huge. And that allowed us to actually see some greater impact and great results.
Oh, that's great. So tell me too, something that comes to mind is African American males and their health. So what are you guys doing about that?
So this is a very important topic for me. And now knowing that you think about Black Panther and you think about Chadwick Boseman, he has created a big impact. And he allowed our young Black boys, Black kids, to see, both boys and girls, to see a superhero for the first time that looked like them. Yeah. And that created a bigger identity for the African American community, for the Black community in America and around the world. And so for years, even in my past, I implemented programs where we encourage Black people, Black men, to actually get tested for colon cancer. We utilize barbershops and train barbers to actually have this conversation
Oh yeah,
with their clients about if they know what colon cancer is.
So you guys are actually going into the community at like the ground roots.
So this is very, very important. So I think that Chadwick Boseman dying from colon cancer, I think gives us and revives, for me personally, it just gave me another more energy to say it is important to talk about this disease, which is preventable 99%, but it impacts people of color, African Americans and Latinos, more than any other group.
Yeah.
But what happens is if you get screening early enough and they detect it early, take out of you and you could live a normal life.
Right.
So early testing and early detection is going to be a game changer. So I talk about this because I want to make sure when we talk about healthcare, we see a lot of healthcare disparities.
Yeah.
And one of those disparities is this that we're talking about. Few people, colon cancer affects every race at the same rate. But the mortality rate for African Americans and Latino is higher than their white counterparts.
I did not realize that.
So it's important for us to have this conversation at the dinner table. It's important for us to have this conversation everywhere. So that if you're African American, you're Black, or you are any other, if you're a minority, we encourage you to start testing at 45 years. If you could do it even earlier than that, is recommended.
Right.
But 45 years, for white people, they talk about 50 years. But for people of color, we encourage you to start at 45. Get yourselves tested. If you could do it early, think about Chadwick Boseman. It's 4 years, he's been dealing with this since 2016. 4 years ago, he was only 39 years. And he dies at 43 from this disease.
Yeah.
So if this is not something that we a wake-up call, I think about my son. This is his superhero. And before he knows it, the disease that affects people that look like him, that look like me, that look like you, took him out.
Yeah, that's a strong message. I think in our community, we need to make sure that we're, thinking about ourselves, getting our checkups. And you said 45 years old is a good age.
It's the recommended years to do that. But let's think about other diseases, obesity. Let's think about heart disease. I think it is important for us to do our physical exams every year. It's important. We have to take control. Just like we want to be superstars, just like we want to get into the NFL and you train so hard so that you can get into the NBA, get into the NFL, you could be track and field. Let's take our health as important as that as well.
Yeah, we have to make sure we take care of ourselves on the inside, right?
We got to do that. So I think that Health Center Elizabeth is a partner in this. And our strategy is to make sure, and this is our vision at our hospital, to make Northern Kentucky, to lead Northern Kentucky to become one of the healthiest communities in America.
Oh, great.
And when we say the healthiest communities in America, it includes everybody who lives in Northern Kentucky or within the greater Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to make sure that we close the healthcare gap for the most vulnerable populations, especially the underserved.
That sounds great. Great to hear that. So before we leave, Alieu, I think I know the answer to this question, but share with me a little bit who you think you may bring to the video series as a contributor. Any thoughts and ideas about topics? Obviously, healthcare is going to be a big one for you, right? But
healthcare is going to be.
Give us a little preview or a little hint or a glimpse of what what you may bring.
So I'll bring, actually, thank you for asking this question, because I think that when we think about Greater Cincinnati, we're thinking about all of us together. So I'm thinking about making sure that my other diversity officers at other healthcare institutions around Cincinnati, let's say Bonsico's, UC Health, Tri-Health, all those institutions, Cincinnati Children's, I want to bring my colleagues in those organizations to come and talk about healthcare and what they are doing to help our community become more healthier than we are. And the other thing that other people that I'm going to bring in is some of my colleagues, some of my physicians at St. Elizabeth, who have worked so hard in ensuring that we address these healthcare disparities. One of them is Dr. Flanagan. I'm going to bring those individuals here and some of our leaders to come here and talk about what we are doing at St. Elizabeth to improve the health of everyone that comes into our doors. St. Elizabeth and Northern Kentucky per se, is one of the fastest growing communities in America, especially when you talk about immigrants and refugees coming into our area. We have a place for all of them, and we have to be culturally competent to make sure that we meet their needs. And we hire people from all walks of life. And so we're not only creating space to provide the best care for everyone, but we're also creating space where everyone can come and live in a region that would value and respect who you are, and make sure your kids also find a place where they can go to school, they can work, and they can play. And that's what our mission is here. And so the people that I'm going to bring that I just named, we will come and have those conversations on how can we make the Cincinnati region and Northern Kentucky region a very inclusive region that people from all over the country would look forward to coming and live here.
That sounds great. Alieu, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. I know others are going to be looking forward to it as well. Seeing and hearing straight from all those great individuals.
Awesome. And I think together we can be healthy.
Yes, we'll be healthy, strong,
together, better together, stronger together.
Stronger together for sure. So let's look forward to us getting back together here, maybe chatting again. And in the meantime, we'll bring some more people for us to chat with.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate this opportunity.
My pleasure. Thank you, Alieu.
All right. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda.